What is more important, the hunter or the gear?
Oh, hunter by far. And I say that the main reason, I'm a caller. I like to call things. And I feel like I'm better than the average guy with a call in my hand. If it's me or you and you can't call and I can, I feel like I have a big advantage.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And when they showing up and you've got that boat and that motor and that trailer brand new sitting there and they're like, here it is, and like you just look at them like, it's like a adult like at Christmas time, like just turned 5 again, right? Like, oh my gosh, here we go.
As soon as he clears the door, he pulls a revolver out of his hoodie pocket. I'm like, oh crap.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
He said I parked my boat on the beach and I was doing something, and I don't recall exactly what he was doing. And he said the monkeys jumped on the boat and they took the dipstick out and they were sword fighting with the dipstick on his motor.
As you would.
Right, it's just like a bunch of kids, right?
Welcome to my office. This is the first of hopefully a few podcasts that we're going to do. Joining me today is my first employee and salesman, Travis Madden. He's been with us for over 10 years now. We just kind of want to talk a little bit about the business, what we do, a little bit about, duck hunting in general and, what's been going on here. So what's up, man? What's happening?
Not much. In fact, we were just talking last week, I think was anniversary for me.
Yeah, that's right.
11 years. So
that's right.
It is just over 10 years. So it's been a good ride so far and it's going to just keep going up from here. So
yeah,
I'm excited. The growth is still going. It's not the same mundane thing every day. It changes every day, and
yeah.
It just seems like it just keeps growing and getting bigger, and it's just gaining traction every day. So it's been way good.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's nice to show up to somewhere that it's not a grind. It's not we're not building doohickeys on a mindless assembly line or something. We get to talk to people about duck hunting and boats and stuff that we like doing every day. So, I love it.
Right. Well, and they say if you love what you do for work, you never work a day in your life. So, I mean, some days are better than others, but it does feel like work some days. But most days, it's definitely enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't dread it. So
it has its days.
It does, but they all do. So.
Well, you were a chef before this, right?
I was. I actually come from a food and beverage background as opposed to mechanical or background. I worked for Ruby River Steakhouse, Marriott Hotels for, I don't know, man, over 15 plus years. So I was an executive chef for them for many, many years as well. So come from a kitchen full of 20 to 30 people to peddling boat parts. So I think that's actually how this got started. I actually was up at the University of Utah. I had an interview up there with the corporate food and beverage director and the executive chef up there, going to take over a building, and happened to see it on my way back. And you and I had been acquainted through purchasing my mud motor and boat through Mud Buddy and parts and stuff and bow fishing and waterfowling in general. So sent you a message, said, hey man, I just saw this was posted, and said, let's come in and chat. And here we are 11 years later.
Yeah.
So
never really hired based on, experience. I have, but I mean, I find the best people that I hire I hire them because of the personality and, that I know them, have some history with them or things like that. They're good people, not necessarily the person that will fit this puzzle piece the very best,
Sure.
So it seemed to work so far.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We've got good people here that,
yes, we do.
Never have to worry about if I'm gone, if you're gone, if anybody's gone, and, pick up the slack and,
right.
take care of what needs to be done.
100%.
Yeah. I know you've been kind of in and out of Ducks Unlimited, but you've been in a lot more than out. So
yeah, I did Ducks Unlimited for a lot of years, man. I started a chapter down here. Probably hate to even say age myself, but it's probably 20 years ago or so, and ran that for a long time and was the district chairman for a lot of years. Took a step away for a little bit of time. I mean, family needs, kids growing, things like that. Just got back into it about, I guess we're probably pushing another 4 years now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but I guess it has. As a state recruitment chairman, along with the chapter chairman for the local chapter here. So we do our banquets here in March, and it's been good that chapter had fallen away, and so it's been good to build that back up, and every year we've increased in numbers. So it's a little bit of a way to give back. It's kind of a selfish charity, right? Because we raise money for ducks and habitat so there's more for us to go out and enjoy and harvest and hunt, right? But so it kind of is selfish, but at the same time, it's kind of the same like-minded people. It's waterfowl industry,
Sure.
it's giving back, it's good people, you know, like we talked before. So it's been a good thing. So I do enjoy it.
I don't know if there would be any of these charities or organizations for things like that if there wasn't a little bit of selfish motivation, you know.
Sure.
It's kind of like the argument for why do people hunt lions? It's like, yeah, if you're from a mile away from it, nobody wants to see a dead lion. But if there wasn't people with money investing in those communities and the land and their habitat, they'd have been extinct a long time ago.
Right, they wouldn't even exist.
Those people need to eat, and they need to not get, you know, whacked when they go to get their water for the day. So
Right.
hunters are the ones that are keeping those animals on the planet.
Oh, right. And there is a care, like you said there, and it's hard to explain to people because I get that question a lot. I mean, obviously we like mounts, it's memories, it's everything, and people are like, man, they're such a beautiful bird. Like, how can you kill them? I'm like, they are beautiful. Like, I have so much respect for all of them. Like, there's nothing lost or left behind on purpose. Like, it's not like you just go out there and waste this stuff. I mean, everything that we take is harvested and eaten and utilized, and they're beautiful birds. I mean, and that's why I want it here, so I can look at it every day, you know, and along with the memories and the hunts and everything that go along with those, you know, you'll remember that the rest of your life.
Yep.
So 100%.
Amazing.
It is. It's cool.
Yep.
So I know we talked about a little bit about myself. These people probably want to hear a little bit about you too. You've been with Mud Buddy and BPS for a lot of years, and you kind of did some side jobs as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, boss?
I started working at a sporting goods store, Sportsman's Warehouse, in high school. And I kind of through some people met Glenn Foreman, the owner of Mud Buddy, 2002, 2003. At that time, they were just barely coming out the very first surface drives, and I didn't want to work retail anymore, so I got a job at Mud Buddy, 2003, I think, and started on the assembly line, started crating motors, at the very, very bottom, and I've never been the kind of person that can just sit in one spot, do one thing, not think about it, and clock out and go home. So I'd figured out that job, and I'd look over and see what that guy was building drives. And so I'd go over there and, learn his job.
Sure.
And then the every single stop around the assembly line, I wanted to know how to do it. And so over a year and a half, I learned every assembly job in there and some of the stuff outside of that. And then, some of the painting and all the different stuff they do, electrical and things they do there. And still just wasn't satisfied, wanted to keep moving up. So eventually I started sales there. Clint, who's just retired recently, but he and I were doing sales there. Shoot, that was about 2003, 2004. I was, next to him and started doing sales for Mud Buddy. That was before Glenn had bought XL. And so it was just Mud Buddy. Did that for a while. Little side project that Mud Buddy did is build little machines that do concrete curbing, around flower beds.
Okay.
Concrete curbing. And so I saw guys coming in buying those machines and stuff, and I mean, they looked like they were killing it. So same type of thing. I looking my head around the corner like, what's this guy doing? And eventually just bought one of those machines and the whole trailer to do all that, and went off on my own and started a concrete company. So I did that for about 10 years. 2008 kind of happened, and things started getting slow.
Right.
It's always slow in the winter in Utah.
Right.
So one winter went back to Mud Buddy, said, I'm pretty slow at work, so you got something for me to do. Went back there again, started doing a little bit of the assembly stuff and a little bit of the sales stuff, and it just kind of snowballed from there. BPS was just a brand name at that time. It was just kind of the division that did performance parts.
Sure.
And I saw a need for it to be its own thing. It was kind of an afterthought before. The people on the production line and everybody else there saw it as taking away parts from production, but I saw it as a whole other revenue stream, and ran with it, and
Right.
now it's a whole, business. We've split it up to a million different things that we do, but everything from, the replacement parts, the performance parts, accessories, motor covers, and that kind of thing. Bow fishing platforms and layout boats and
Trolling motor repairs.
yeah, trolling motor repairs. We're the biggest Minn Kota repair shop basically on the whole West Coast, or
Right.
Western United States. If people travel all over from that, but now in the Clint, obviously the guy that's been the national salesman forever, retired, and they're looking for somebody to take over sales of XL and Mud Buddy. So, we took it on.
Jumped in feet first.
Yeah. It's been that we've been doing it for about 4 or 5 months now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's wild.
It is. It's a whole new learning curve. It's a whole new platform of people. I mean, it is the same, but it's different people. But
Yeah.
man, the options and everything you got to learn. Like it's a whole nother storage compartment in your brain for all knowledge that needs
Yeah.
to be unlocked for sure.
Yeah. It's fun. The forecasting for it is man, it's a pain in the butt.
Right.
Trying to figure out lead times on these things and not having much history, trying to figure out which models we want and the options that are installed in them and which motors should go with them and how long is it going to take for us to get them. And
Right.
it was all smooth sailing until everybody decided that duck season's coming close.
Right.
And now we're behind a little bit, but
Right.
that's par for the course of that.
Right. Well, and that, like, with the production side of it, there was no reference for us, right? I mean, we came into it going, okay, well, here's where we're going to start with. And I mean, I think the first load of boats we got on, they were gone before they got here.
Yep.
And then we're like, man, they're gone. They're not even here. We should probably get some more going. And now, I know we've got another load showing up here in about 4 weeks, and I think about 80% of those are gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been an interesting learning curve for everybody.
Yeah.
Me, you, Jamie, everybody in the shop. Everybody's been.
Yeah.
It's a whole new learning curve for everybody.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's been feet first, and it's been a team effort to keep it going, and we'll just keep learning. The more we learn, the better we're going to get at it as well. So,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's my favorite part of the business right now. Just learning all the nuance to it, and it's fun. It's fun. It's cool. Watching the guys show up. These are high-end boats. This is not your beginner boat or the first boat you buy. This is a boat that somebody's been thinking about for a long time or saving up for a long time to get.
Right.
So these guys come in and just, ecstatic to have these things. And it's just cool that we get to be, in an indirect way, part of their weekend.
Right.
These guys work all week and save up money so they can go do this stuff. And they get what they want to do with their weekend is hop in one of these things and fish, hunt, whatever it is. But
Right.
it's really cool.
That's been my favorite part too, is the end result, right? Because even in the parts side of it, like a lot of times we don't get to see the end result. Like somebody can have a prop or performance kit or whatever, we end up selling them, and they put it on, and they might call or email back and say, man, this thing's awesome. I installed these parts and I did this and now it does this. That's way more than I expected. Like, you guys were awesome. And so you hear it a little bit every once in a while, right? But you don't get to see that expression.
Yeah.
And when they showing up and you've got that boat and that motor and that trailer brand new sitting there, and they're like, here it is. And like, you just look at them like, it's like a adult, like at Christmas time, like this turned 5 again, right? Like, oh my gosh, here we go. I talked to a customer today and, took a deposit on one, and his wife called and gave me the deposit. She said, oh yeah, she said, he is so freaking excited. And I said, that's awesome. I said, I'm excited, right? And it's cool to see the builds come together because, everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
And so we get to see a lot of different builds and go, man, that's cool. And that helps obviously with recommendations as well. But it's been my favorite part too, is seeing the reactions from the customers.
Yeah.
When they pick up, like, just stoked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool experience.
It is cool. Yep. Yeah. We get to be a part of their weekend, on top of all the stuff that we're doing with ours. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
It is. And all year round, not just duck season. So yeah, way cool. Yeah, duck season's coming.
Yeah. Of course, everybody waits until, a couple weeks before the season to start thinking about it. But a lot of the country has early goose and teal season, September 1st,
Yeah.
Monday.
I was gonna say, less than a week away.
Yeah, it's here. We don't get the, opportunity for any early seasons here, unfortunately.
Right.
We could go up to Idaho, I guess, for geese, and there's some few states around that have teal or whatnot, but
Sure.
it's probably a good thing we don't have it here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we'd be even more behind. Yeah.
But what I think it's probably going to be a good season. I know there's, over the last couple of years, everybody's been talking about it's been super warm in Canada and nothing wants to migrate and everything gets short stopped. And, some of these guys in the South, Louisiana, Florida, they're talking about they haven't seen it this bad in their lifetimes.
Right.
There's a lot of debate about why, whether it's just straight weather change or whether it's farming practices or guys with clubs, heating up water and keeping birds and baiting them and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you think?
I guess my opinion would be, I think it's a lot of it, most of it I feel like is weather driven personally.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody's opinion are going to differ here, but I feel like weather drives birds south. If there's no reason for them to go anywhere, even if they're pushing and stopping in, like, you mentioned maybe heated ponds or fields that haven't been harvested or things like that, there's still no reason for them to go that far if there's no weather to get them down.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, to me, number one is weather driven. Number two, I think farming practices would probably be the second one. There's been a change in the way in technology, like everything else. I mean, farming practices, if they can get it harvested and tilled under and ready and, rows tilled out and ready to go for spring, if they end up having to be wet or something, they can't get in there to till it up or till it under before they can get seeds planted. Or if they can do it all in the fall when it's dry and get it ready to go, all they got to do is go out and throw seeds in the ground. It's a benefit for them too. Right. With that being said, you're tilling under all the extra corn or rice or wheat or whatever it is that they're doing, so there's no feed as well. So I think weather number one, I would say farming practices is probably number two in my opinion.
Yeah. Seems like the further north you go, the more relaxed the farming practices are, the less technology. You go in Canada and there's pea in a pea field, peas everywhere.
Right.
You're every step you take, you're stepping on pea, and this is after they've harvested.
Right. Correct.
It just, the whole entire field is covered in peas. Here in Utah, we don't have peas, but we've got corn and other things, and you're lucky to find a kernel of corn left on the ground when these guys are done. They're tilling it up as fast as they can, and you might get one shoot, maybe if you're lucky, if you can actually get permission to hunt somewhere here. But I think it's a combination of all these things that's a problem. It's been warmer, especially in Canada, so there's open water there in January,
right? And
then in Montana and Idaho and everywhere else, it's been warmer too. So why do they need to come down here if there's still food sitting on the ground, if there's still open water that the ducks can feed off of? So
100%.
And then in the South, there's all that. There's a ton more private land, and there's a ton more, hunting ranches and things like that. Guys they want to keep the birds there. That's what that's the mission statement of those places is keep birds here as long as we can, shoot as many birds as we can. Right. So I can see how that would, be a factor as well.
100%. And they're way farther down the line than we are. You know? So I can understand being frustrated with that for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fairly normal year here. We've had a super dry summer, but some of the places are going to be shallow, especially until they shut off irrigation. But I don't know if you got an airboat and it's a
whole other ball game.
Yeah, you might have a little advantage over the guys that don't, or a shallow running mud boat.
Right, 100%.
We don't really like to talk about it much, and we don't like anybody else to talk about it. But I mean, some of the best hunting in the whole entire country, maybe world, is in Utah. We've got basically 80% of the species of ducks in North America here. We've got more public land than pretty much any other state that has ducks. Goose hunting's tough. There's not that much agriculture, but as far as ducks go, man, I don't really know anywhere with better access and better hunting in the world, do you?
No, I think the key to that is, and like I said, we don't like to tell anybody that, but the public access that we've got in general is probably larger than most states that I've been to. It's easy to do on your own. We don't even have guides here, so I mean, it really makes it pretty easy. The duck species and populations that we have, I mean, even late season, that Great Salt Lake holds a pile of birds. And like you said, from divers to puddle ducks to swans to geese to, I mean, almost every species you could think of.
Yeah.
I mean, we can check a lot of them off here.
Yep.
That's on people's bucket lists and in one trip. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, we don't like to tell people that, but you know, keep them all their own little highways and potholes. But yeah, it's pretty tough to beat. We do have a pretty good waterfowl paradise here where we're at.
For sure. Yeah, I've got the, North American 41 or 42, whatever you want to call it, but it was a lot easier for me to do it living here than it would be a guy living in, Nebraska or something.
Sure.
They get pintails, they get mallards, they get geese, and they have to really try for other species.
Right.
They've got them. I get a little bit here and there, but I had to travel.
Yeah.
But a lot of the species came from here.
Right. Well, and the bulk of that you'd probably have to travel for. I mean, you're talking the seabound ones, right?
Mostly.
Which would be easy for the guys on the coast, either east or west coast. But I mean, if there's salt water stuff like that, like you got to have that stuff we don't see them, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't even say we don't, because we really do. We see every year there's scoters and white-winged scoters and old squaws and all that stuff harvested here on the Great Salt Lake that gets lost. And so I can't even say we don't even see it, because we do.
Yeah.
There's been specks that come through here that get lost. There's been Egyptian geese I've seen. So we do even get some of the ocean birds that take a left turn when they should have took a right. So
yeah, I checked off old squaw, white-winged scoter, surf scoter. I think I got specklebelly here before anywhere else. That they shouldn't be here.
No.
Great Salt Lake, brings in all sorts of weird stuff.
Right.
There's the only thing that lives in it's brine shrimp, obviously, and those sea ducks, they love it. When I've shot old squaws here, you look at they've got like the little I don't know what you call it, kind of look like teeth on the side of their bills,
right.
and they're jammed full of brine shrimp.
Right.
So they like it here for whatever reason. Maybe someday we'll have a population of them.
Yeah, you never know. Well, what do they say? There's no fences in the sky, right? Anything can come through. You never know.
Yeah. We love it here. We still travel a lot to do the other things, the sea duck stuff, the timber stuff, some of the stuff that we can't get. But man, it's hard to beat here.
It is very tough. Yeah, we have it good.
All right, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is more important, the hunter or the gear?
Oh, hunter by far. And I say that the main reason, I'm a caller. I like to call things. And I feel like I'm better than the average guy with a call in my hand. If it's me or you and you can't call and I can, I feel like I have a big advantage.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. The fancy gear gets you things like, it might get you a fancy boat, for instance. It might get you a little bit further away from some of the other people that don't have it. Or that coat might keep you a little warmer than the guy that's got the Walmart coat. Or, the guy that knows how to run the call is probably going to finish his limit quicker than, the guy that just hope they fly past them.
Right.
But for sure, it's way more important to have the knowledge and the skill and the experience over the best gear in the world.
Right.
There's plenty of guys that got into it last week that have money and can go out and buy the best of the best.
Right.
And they're the ones posting pictures of sunsets,
Yeah, right. Well, and if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
Right? And just like, like we talked about calling, like you can go buy a $20 duck call, or you can go buy a $200 duck call. You can go buy a $200 duck call. If you know how to use it, it doesn't matter. You just go buy a $20 one, right? So, kind of the same concept to me.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. So I know with all the years we've been here, we've seen some crazy things. And I can think of one that sticks out to me, whether it be in the shop or on the phone. I'm sure you can too. So enlighten me, man. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Probably, all right, I was sitting in my office one day. You were there. I can hear a bunch of commotion going on in the reception. A guy talking loud, and I got my attention. I didn't stand up yet. And I could hear I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but just kept getting louder and louder. So I'm like, all right, I guess I better walk up and see what's going on here. And I walk into the reception, and the receptionist is sitting there just like kind of freaked out. There's a guy, crackhead looking dude standing there, and he's like, these people are after me. I'm like, okay, what people? He's like, they're outside. And so I'm looking at him kind of like, sizing him up a little bit. And he's got his hands in his hoodie pocket. And we walk over towards the door with him. And I'm looking out. I don't see anybody. I'm like, who? And he's like, they're out there. They've been chasing me. They said they're going to kill me. I'm like, there's nobody out there, man. And he's like, they're out there. I swear. Just cracked out. And his hands are still in his hoodie pocket. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't see them, but I'm like, oh, maybe they are. So I start opening the door, fully, knowing what's going on here. And I open the door, and I shove him out with one hand, and he kind of skips out. And as soon as he clears the door, he pulls a revolver out of his hoodie pocket. I'm like, oh crap!
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. So I shut the door behind him and lock it. And he kind of looks at me angry, like he's going to do something, and then just turns around and walks off. I'm like, well, I think we just, avoided some serious, it was wild.
Brought a knife to a gunfight and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I thought I was, being tough, pushing the guy out the door. Little did I know he could have smoked me. But
wow.
Yeah, wild.
Man, that is pretty wild.
What's your craziest story working here?
The one that sticks out all the time, and you get those phone calls, and people always tell you, "Oh, you're never going to believe this," and we've heard a lot of things, so it's pretty hard to not hear everything, right? So I had a gentleman call one day, and he says, "I lost my dipstick, and you're not ever going to believe this story." And I said, "Well, they get lost all the time. They get snagged in tree limbs and stuff. You pull out, get on the blind, and end up in the water." I said, "They get lost all the time."
I'm surprised how many we sell.
Oh, a pile of them. And so he says, no, and he was from, I think he was in a country in South Africa, and I don't remember which one, but he says, the monkeys stole my dipstick. And I was quiet, like thinking he was messing with me, and he didn't laugh. And so I said, the monkeys took your dipstick? He said, yeah. He said, I parked my boat on the beach, and I was doing something, and I don't recall exactly what he was doing. And he said the monkeys jumped on the boat, and they took the dipstick out, and they were sword fighting with the dipstick on his motor.
As you would.
Right. It's just like a bunch of kids, right? And he says he come back to chase them out, and they took the dipstick and ran into the jungle. And so he went in looking for the dipstick that the monkeys took, and he was unable to find it. So they still might be sword fighting with that dipstick. I don't know, man. But I said, okay, you're right. I have never heard that story before. So
gotcha.
He was serious. There was no sarcasm, no nothing. It was a straight, like, dude, they really took my dipstick and sword fought and left with it. So I said, yeah, okay. And you know what? I don't know that I've heard anything that off the wall since. So
no, that takes the cake.
Yeah, he was not wrong, man. So there's been a lot of talk recently, boss, and I know we get calls here at the shop about it all the time. Hot topic, and it probably has been the biggest topic that I can think of over the last year, 2 years. Turbo, no turbo. Which side of the fence you lean on?
I helped develop one of the turbo kits out there in the early stages of it. I was involved, traveled all over the country with some of our dealers and stuff, trying testing and R&D. And, at the end of the day, I determined the way it kind of made me stop the project was it just wasn't reliable enough. The whole entire time we've been doing this, there's always been companies that made parts and motors and stuff that made more power than the ones that we do.
Sure.
There just is. That's never what we've been about. That's not, I don't want it. Backwater Performance Systems is not, we're not here to make your boat the fastest boat out there or, at the sandbar and all that stuff. We build stuff for duck hunters. When you add a turbo, you add so much dang compression and a lot of times heat and all the other things that it does and RPMs and everything else. This thing is motor designed to go on a lawnmower and run at 1 RPM all day long and never change. Well, you start adding all that stuff to these things and they fail. There's a million different ways they fail, but they do eventually. And it just, I wasn't ready to put our customers through that. You know, we're hunters.
Right.
I don't want to put my kid on something, go out in the middle of nowhere and in the cold and break down somewhere. So just, you know, yeah, they make more power.
Right.
They do. But so does a Lamborghini, and I don't have one of those either, you know.
Right.
That's, at the end of the day, they're not reliable enough for my customers, our customers. And we have parts that are proven from 25 years that get you more power to get up on plane faster, to haul heavy loads, and they're going to get you back to the boat ramp at the end of the day. They're not going to win any races. You know, we're not going to go 40 miles an hour.
Right.
That's not what we do. That's not when somebody on social media or something says, you know, you should have this guy do it or this guy do it. It's way faster. Go for it. Do it. That's not what we do. You know, we send out kits so people can install them on their motors in their garages with basic tools and not have to worry about breaking down in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on a turbo?
You know, I don't have as much experience with them as you. Like I said, I've never ran one personally on my mud. I know you ran one for a short period of time, so you definitely have more insight than I do. I'm still kind of on the fence with it. I see some people. I've got a customer of ours that every time he runs the boat with a turbo, he has an issue with it and something's breaking. I know another buddy that's got one, and he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of problems with it as much. So I think, you know, is that, and in my brain, like I said, because I don't have enough experience with it, is it a lemon of a turbo? Is it so it's hard to make that determination, but like I said, I don't have much experience with running them personally either. So it's hard for me to be on one side or the other, but I definitely see a lot of things on both sides. And I mean, you can jump on social media at this point too. And like I said, it's been, to me, one of the bigger things over the last couple of years. You can jump on social media and you get people that'll just preach them as long as the day is. And you got people that don't want nothing to do with them. So it's still I still myself don't know quite what to think 100% with them. They're definitely produce more horsepower for sure. Can't deny that. But like I said, as far as longevity and liability, it's still up in the air a little bit. So,
yeah. So it's been the topic for 25 years. It started on, internet forums back in the late 90s, 2000s. And now today it's on TikTok, but what's the best motor, Mud Buddy?
What's the best mud motor? Man, I think, talk about controversy. I think the biggest misconception that I see with them is a lot of times it gets pushed to one manufacturer or the other, that there's issues here or there. And some of it's not even, I guess where I'm going with it is it's not even the manufacturer. Especially if it's a motor complaint, right? Because all the manufacturers use the same motors, the same power heads, right?
Yep.
So a lot of complaints about the power heads themselves in general, and that's guilty by association. So whatever manufacturer put that motor on their frame, if the customer has issues with that motor, that's the manufacturer that's going to get bashed in the mud and stomped to the dirt. I've seen some people a little more on social media understanding that a little bit more and going, hey man, it's not necessarily this manufacturer, it's that's an engine problem, not the manufacturer problem. They just put it on the frame.
Right.
And so that's probably the biggest one. Man, outside of that, I think it's a Ford Chevy debate. It's a, north, south, east, west coast thing. It's kind of, I think it's up for debate and personal preferences. There's manufacturers that have things that if that's specific to what you're looking for, you're going to be that manufacturer, loyal, and that's where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Locality is another one that I would say is, as far as how easy is it to get repaired, how easy is, things to get your hands on.
That might be one of the biggest things is, like, where's your dealer at?
Right.
If your dealer is 6 hours away or more, but you've got the other brand half an hour away, you should buy that one.
Right.
Because they're all going to break. They are. These things are, we beat the crap out of them.
Or abused.
It's a lawnmower engine that we throw on a frame, and we're running hitting them on rocks and stumps, and leaving them outside in the weather, and
Right.
and all the stuff that we do to them. They're gonna break. So you probably better have somebody that can work on it. If it's under warranty, or at least get parts and that kind of thing. But it's I've been here since the forum days, and this is never gonna die.
No.
And it's I think it's more magnified now with the social media and the TikToks and the Instagrams and all that stuff. But it's always going to be the same argument. And use the one that you have the best access to. Use the one that guys around you have been using to learn all the nuances and things that work and don't work. And there's no reason to be so dang tribal about the thing.
Right.
We're all duck hunters.
Right.
We shouldn't be having these BS debates and freakouts and gotcha moments. We should be, joining Ducks Unlimited. We should be, working on things, with ducks and access and things like that, and not so worried about which stupid mud motor you run. It's crazy.
Right. And another thing I think plays key in that too is maintenance. I don't care which manufacturer you own. If you don't maintain it and you just run it like a lot of our customers do, and there's no maintenance, they don't clean it. Like you said, it's full of mud. It's full, it's leaking oil. They don't want to fix it. They just run it as hard as they can all season long, get the last day of duck season out of it, and then it's put up for the winter, and then nothing's even done until, duck season starts next week, and I should probably get this ready. Sure. And there's no maintenance on it. And I don't care what manufacturer you have. If you don't do any self-maintenance on your motor, it's not going to take care of you. It's just not. So I think self-maintenance goes a long way with whatever manufacturer you decide to go with as well.
Yeah, these guys, they pull up into the dealership, whichever one it is, and see them all sitting out on the lot and expect it to be a Honda Civic.
Right.
That you walk in, you turn the key, and it starts every day, and it runs for 200,000 miles, and all you have to do is pull in a Jiffy Lube every once in a while, and that's it. Well, I got news for you. If you try that, you're going to have problems.
Absolutely, 100%, guaranteed.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, maintenance is a huge thing, for sure.
Well, that was fun. This is the first one. Hopefully, we've got some more. We'll have some more guests, some people around the industry. Check us out on our website, backwaterperformance.com. Give us a call, 385-695-3807, or check out one of our dealers across the country.